Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final round of the Glorney Cup, which is happening online now. There's 4 teams playing, 4 nations, in fact, playing in the event. England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. And we're going to be following 4 different sections. So under 18 girls, under 14s and under 12s. And we've joined at a very exciting moment. Particularly the under 18 and under 18 girls are very, very close. And the top 2 teams are England and Ireland. And England needs to win. So if we... I'm going to share my... Actually, I'm going to share a different screen. I'm going to share chess.com first of all. Chess results server, in fact. Here you go. Can you see that one?
We certainly can.
Good. So what I'm going to show you is, first of all, the under 18s, which is this one, I think. And if we look at the rank table, it's extremely close. So Ireland is actually slightly in the lead. And they've both England and Ireland have won 4 matches, drawn 1 against each other. So it's a kind of double round. You play each country twice. But Ireland are slightly ahead on board points. This is the final round now. So England basically need to win the match in order to win the Glorney Cup, and Ireland need to draw the match. So let's see the board pairings. So we're just focusing, because it's our ECF, then we're focusing on the English players mainly. So we have the links to the England-Ireland match here. And you can see the board 1 line up there: Sasha Brozal against Taran Kanyamarala. I ought to be able to say that. Max Turner against Adam Collins, Aravamudam Bladji against Sean Murphy, Jacob Yoon against Leon Putar, and Nishal Thatta against Martin Fitzgerald. And I'm just going to very quickly show you round 3 because we had the same pairing before. And in round 3, Taran won. We won on 2 with Aravamudam. We lost on 3. Leon Putar won. Nishal won on 4, and there was a draw on 5. So okay, sorry.
Exciting match.
Yeah, exactly. So let's because it has started. Let's hop to chess.com, and I'm going to just make sure I'm following the. Let's start with the under 18s, shall we? So the under 18s link. That one. Did that work?
I'm not sure. I'm still seeing the chessresults.com server. So,
okay, let me unshare that one and share this new. Oh, sorry. Get that in the end. Chess.com. Can you see that now?
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Now, what we are seeing, this is Toshiko Aurora. This is actually in the girls. It's a similar situation actually in the girls, in that they drew, I think, the first time. They need to win anyway, their match to win.
So England also needs to win this match to.
Exactly.
Because Ireland's ahead on board points again. Okay.
Yes. So let's. So there you are, Sasha. So this is Sasha Brozal against Taran Kanyamarala, who is a FIDE master, very strong top board for Ireland there. And we have here like a bit like a Reti, and they've accepted the gambit pawn on c4.
Yeah, this is quite an unusual opening sequence, really. Knight f3, d5, g3. That's a fairly standard Reti. Then with knight d7, black's trying to get in e5, and then white played c4, and now d takes c4. So it's quite Yeah, quite unusual this. I mean, the black knight can come to b6 to try and hold that pawn on c4.
Hi, Walton.
Hi, everyone. So you can't really, I mean, you can't expect to hold the pawn in that way, but you will exchange off a pair of knights, which is always, quite useful for black. So it's quite, this is quite solid for black, but not, yeah, not too exciting. I mean, the other way that black could play it would be to play e5 at some stage.
Yeah.
So just yeah, the only thing is, it's always a little bit when you play the knight to d7. It's a long time before you develop your bishop on c8. So you go e5, knight f6, bishop d6, castles. But in general, white's a little bit better there normally as well. Just be interesting to see what white does. I mean, queen a4 is quite common in this position, just to stop black from playing e5 actually, and to recapture on c4 with the queen. Knight a3 is also possible here, just to recapture on c4 with the knight, which is quite interesting as well. But in that case, you've got to watch out for e5, and just because that could get a little bit sharp. You could also
is this opening set up well known at all? Have you come across it before, Matthew?
Knight d7 and then dc, not really, I have to say. I mean, the normal move after 2g3, I guess, is bishop g4, and you get the light square bishop out, and then you go knight d7 afterwards. That's the basically the normal way of playing it. Knight d7 is slightly more unusual here.
Of course, Taran comes from a chess family. His sister is also a very strong Irish junior player. And so they've both been playing. Okay. I know they've both been playing chess during lockdown.
Oh, okay. So knight a3. This is quite sharp now, because I think black's going to play e5 now. And well, black could play.
Natasha can just retake on c4.
Yeah, but after e5, knight c4, you go e4 maybe.
Oh, and this knight has to work out where to go, because it can't go. Could not do that because the queen would be able to take. We're looking at the line. Sorry, we're looking at the line. If black goes e5 straight away, white takes the pawn, and then black pushes on again, just putting the question to this knight: where's it going to go? And I suppose it could go what, d4 and h4.
Yeah, I mean, I guess h4 would be the normal way, I think. But then it's got quite sharp. I mean, I don't know if there's a. I mean, the other thing that black could do, black's got other ideas. Knight b6 is one idea, but that's very solid. Just aiming to swap off a knight when white takes on c4, and just claim that the exchange of knights has helped relieve black's position. Another idea would be to play a6 to meet knight c4 with b5, and then you're going to bring the bishop to b7. That's another.
Knight c4 and then b5. Yeah.
And then if knight a5, you just go c5, so that if that's fine, then so yeah, I mean, there's quite a few possibilities for black here, really.
I'm going to flick to the next game, and so this is board 2. Max Turner, candidate master. Sorry, Max Turner against Adam Collins. And viewers of this channel might have seen Max Turner. I think he was playing in the CL, like actual over the board tournament the other week.
Oh, okay. So this is a quite a typical c3 Sicilian, in which black's developed his light squared bishop, with bishop d7 to c6. Now bishop f3 is an interesting decision there, but I think the idea is very, very specific and tactical. It's maybe not normally your aim of playing there, but the idea is that if queen takes f3, well, we could go either d takes c5 or knight c6. I'm not sure which is best, actually.
I was looking at knight c6 there, yeah. Yeah,
but d takes c5, I mean, the bishop on d2 is unprotected, so...
very nice, so...
yeah, and queen b7, the knight on b6 covers the rook on a8, so... I mean, it could well be that d takes c5 is possible. So, I mean, white could now play g takes f3. I mean, that's the only other alternative. But then we'll go knight c6, and
yeah,
in principle,
white's damaged their pawns rather.
Yeah, this is very promising for white, actually. I think g takes f3, knight c6. So I think maybe... oh, wait a minute. It's not... Well, I mean, after gf3, knight c6, you could go bishop e3, because d takes c5. We could even switch to an analysis board, I think, Natasha.
Okay, I know how to do that. That's...
No, a little bit lower, I think. If you just click on that little a sort of search icon there, live and... oh, is that... I think so. Yo, you just have to say that, there we are. So if we go g takes f3, then knight c6, we can go bishop e3 in this position, because d takes e5, knight takes e5 is met by bishop b6. It feels rather unfair to me, but is actually working.
Yeah.
What you might better do with black, instead of knight takes e5, is just to go knight d4.
So knight d4 here.
Which is, yeah, not very pleasant for white, really. I mean, maybe you go queen d1, and then I take on b3, and, you know, I mean, it's you know, pretty pleasant for black, really, you know, this position. Yeah, I mean, you know, black doesn't have any problems here. Maybe after queen d1, you could even go knight f5 or something. And so I think really what white might well better do is to go queen takes f3 instead of g takes f3. And then if you go d takes c5, I might just go d5.
Okay, so you wouldn't take on b7?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll go d5. And then you know, if e takes d5, I go knight takes d5, and I've got quite... I'm not going to lose this, I don't think. I think I've got compensation for the pawn. I mean, you know, with the powerful light squares and that sort of stuff, you know, it's I probably, you know, I'd expect probably to, you know, to be reasonably comfortable as white. But maybe knight c6 then is stronger.
Knight c6 now, yeah.
No, before, sorry, after queen f3, your suggestion of knight c6 is probably maybe stronger here. But I could do the sort of the same. I mean, I could go bishop e3. I mean, I've got to hold d4. Oh yeah, well, maybe I could go, yeah, and d takes c5. I could go d5 again.
d5 again.
Or I could go d takes c5 and queen g3 and claim some sort of compensation. But I'm sacking a pawn, really, I think.
Yeah.
I suppose the only other thing I could do, actually, after knight c6, is I could go queen g4, actually.
Queen g4 through,
with the idea of d takes c5, bishop h6.
So we'd have to defend what, like this?
Yeah, bishop f6 is necessary, and then I'm just wondering whether I've got something clever, you know, like knight e4 or something like that. But maybe I don't particularly.
Knight e4. We could.
Yeah, knight takes d4. I think it's pretty solid, really.
Yeah.
Bishop's on the wrong diagonal, because if the bishop was on the b1 h7 diagonal, I'd have this typical trick: knight takes f6, queen f6, and bishop g5, trapping the queen. But here the bishop's on b3, so it's not really working. Yeah, if my bishop was on d3, for example, then. Yeah. But here it's just working here. So maybe the best would be to go, you know, to sort of go bishop e3 and then d5 and just try and.
Yeah. So it takes in here.
Well, actually, I'm not sure, because knight d4 in this move order, this is much more awkward. Now, maybe I should just take on e5. I think I should just take d takes e5 after d takes e5. I think I should just take, and then queen g3 afterwards, and just claim I've got two bishops and open files and a bit of compensation. It's like a moral gambit, Tash.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I was just about to say I quite like it for black, though.
But no, I mean, principle, I think, you know, black's always going to be happy here. I mean, you've got rid of white center and all of that, but I think it's, you know, there's decent compensation for white here, I think.
All right, okay, let's see UK chess bomber against Murphy Gambit. England is white in this game. Candidate master. We've got the proper name here. Aravamudin Balaji.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, so this is
who was playing at the weekend at the Chess Fest on Saturday. He was playing in the tournament there. Yeah.
So this is a reverse Grunfeld. So it's a Grunfeld for white with a tempo up. And then always the question in these is, how important is that tempo? Sometimes it is, and sometimes surprisingly not. Just at a quick glance, I would say that this is quite important in this position. I've always thought it to be, and it looks like it is. So because black's having quite big problems defending this pawn on d5.
Yeah. Should we just see the opening move so we can see how white gained that tempo?
This is actually just a Grunfeld, but of course, in a black Grunfeld, the bishop wouldn't be on g2 yet. So
yes, okay.
g4,
So just like a Grunfeld, but reversed colours.
Exactly. So you're just one nasty tempo up basically, and this means that in the normal black position, black would take back with a knight on d7, but here taking back with the king. And well, I mean, this threat of bishop f6 and bishop d5 is quite hard to deal with. I mean, if d4, we just go e3. Now, I mean, the key thing that black could try is to play d4 in this position, and then.
It's always ask you that.
Indeed, at some stage you weaken and you do it. So
I'm already a member. I already paid a membership fee.
Yeah, but you're not. You got to be. I think you got to be a special member.
Or a special category member.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So e3, bishop g4. Oh wait a minute, I'm making a big mistake here. But anyway, f3.
I'm trying to look for your big mistake. You're going to lose the d pawn.
Well, and bishop f5. This was the idea. So the idea was to meet ed with bishop c2. That was the idea. But actually just carry on taking on the e5. So e takes d4. Oh,
sacrifice exchange.
Well, yeah, but you
go back
very quickly. So actually this is then I think you're losing your d pawn. I don't see how you're going to defend that.
So this is just good for if this happened, it would be just good for white.
Yeah, no, that's right. But after bishop g5, I just don't see how black's defending the d pawn. So black's going to have to find some sort of clever way of. Well, I mean, I suppose there's the option. You could play king c6 in this position.
Ooh, that's brave, I think. So what if we check?
Now king b5.
Ooh, that's even more brave.
And after b3, then we can go d4 because we've got out of all the pins.
All right. So what if I go back?
Yeah, I'll take that then. And then I'll claim that my king's coming to a4 and a3 and that it's safe. That's not a stupid claim, actually. I mean, I think the king's
You've been playing too much shogi.
Yeah.
Bring the king right out.
Trying to get the king to the other side as quickly as possible. But yeah, no, actually, king c6 is not. Just trying to think what's wrong with king c6 actually. Not clear to me actually what's wrong with king c6. I mean, probably you shouldn't force the king to b5, right? You should come up with something cleverer.
Yeah.
But it's not obvious to me how clever you can be. Well, what you could do probably is to go a3 instead. That's probably what you should do.
I just go a3 here.
No. So instead of king c6, instead of rook c1 check, rather just go a3 here.
Yeah, I see.
Because we're going to have knight c3 check afterwards. If we go bishop a5, then there's b4. So we're probably still in a great deal of trouble here. Although, I mean, what you could do is go bishop e7. No, this is quite unpleasant, I think. Rook c1 check, and then if you go king b7, then just knight c3, and we're just easily winning this d5 pawn.
Do you know, I've just noticed UK Chess Bombers rating. Look at that, 2603.
Wow.
That's quite a rating.
That's a hell of a rating. Rapid.
Yeah.
Because of rapid as well. Wow.
And I know he's good at rapid, because do you remember in January, and we were commenting on the online British, and he was doing really, really well.
Yeah, no, I mean, these guys are very strong, but wow, that's a very good rating for rapid.
It's a good rating though, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I think this is just looking very good for white.
Looking good for white.
Yeah.
So this Grunfeld reverse with the extra tempo for white looks promising. How do I get back exactly to the game?
Well, you've got all the links on the right hand side.
Just do the link. Yeah. Okay.
On there, and then you're back. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, there hasn't been a move played since.
No, Black's having a good long think, and I think that's a good thing, because this is really. I mean, this is the moment where you're going to try and find some sort of plausible looking way to get some counterplay, and it's never easy. It's never easy, because it's never satisfactory what you find. But you've just got to try and weigh up, what's the most promising in a difficult situation, and which lines is white most likely to go wrong in, and then you try and sort it out like that, but difficult.
All right, let's check in on board 4, which is Jacob Yoon against Leon Putar, who I imagine Leon Putar is a brother of Lara Putar. I'm making that up a bit, but it sounds plausible, doesn't it? Who was one of the players in the online British Women's Championship earlier in the year.
You've had crazier theories, Natasha, so I think that's okay. So this is a slightly strange modern, where white has gone f3, black's gone c5, and it looks like a Sicilian now. A very odd Sicilian, really, where a very odd dragon, where all the pieces are in slightly strange places. So the bishop's on d3, which is quite unusual in a dragon. The queen's on b6, which is also slightly strange, and the white bishop's on g5, which is also slightly odd. So
we just quickly whiz through those first moves. Yeah. So it's transposed. So it's gone via a perk.
Indeed. Yeah, and
like this.
Yeah, so we've gone from a perk to a sort of Sicilian type structure there.
It's going to be. Yeah, but it's going to be slightly awkward for white to castle there, isn't it?
Well, no, I mean, you're going to go queenside.
Go long, yeah.
You're going to go long and start throwing the pawns forward. I mean, it's not clear. I'm not 100% sure who's benefiting from all these weird moves, because black's queen on b6 is in the way of quite typical counterplay. Yeah. The knight is on d7, which it would normally be on c6. Okay, white's knight is on b3, but that's not so bad if white's going to castle queenside. And the bishop on g.
I mean, black could think about things like just pushing the a pawn, right?
Yeah, certainly. And I think white will reply with a4 then.
So if we go, let's have a look here. Let's look here, and so we could. Oh, dear me. A5, A4.
Yeah, I think even if white's castle queenside, he'll meet a5 with a4, because if the knight wasn't on d7, you'd have stuff like bishop e6, in order to put pressure on. But because it is on d7, it's just a little bit harder to get at that.
Oh, I just had a thought. What if you go like this? Knight c5.
Right, we'll probably end up taking it, I suppose.
Take it. Can I then? This might be really dumb, but can I then take on here before recapturing the knight? It's
an idea, but you'll have to be careful precisely when you do it, because here I'd probably have something like knight b5 to c7 check.
So it's like a poison pawn, isn't it? Like the Sicilian poison pawn.
Yeah,
so you can check here.
Oh wow, that's
and then take on c5 to defend.
That's a great move. Oh, you'd be escaping like that, Natasha. Yeah, no, absolutely right. Absolutely right. It's I've got slightly risky vibes about it, but you're absolutely right. That would be.
I agree about the risky vibes, by the way.
but no, that's actually this one's actually working. The problem is, you have to put the queen on c6 to which is then again making me slightly nervous, but I think you're getting away with it in principle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a5 definitely. I mean, if the knight's on b3, which is, quite early, then a5 is definitely a move. It's just the fact that the knight is on d7 that irritates me slightly, because you just really want to have that knight on c6. With a knight on d7, you'd probably more likely to play a6 and b5, which is actually what Black's looking for, I think.
Black did play a6, actually.
Yeah, so I mean, you're probably just going to move the queen out of the way and go b5, but I think you're slow. I do actually think you're quite slow with your counterplay. I think White's going to be quicker with h4 and g4 and h5. So I would guess that this position is in White's favour.
Okay, let's look at the next one. So this is Michelle Thatter, Fearless Raven. Is White against Martin Fitzgerald.
This is theory. This is hardcore theory.
And I think Nisha was also at this the tournament on Saturday, in the rapid play over the board.
Okay. Yeah, this is some Geary game actually.
Okay, well let's see it, and you can tell us about the Geary game. I'm going to go from the start.
You're going to recognise the structure, Natasha.
Certainly recognise the structure. This is, I would call it the Keith Arkle opening.
Indeed.
The Grandmaster Keith Arkle also likes to play this way.
Yeah. So what's slightly different here is that White plays knight e2, which is always what AlphaZero did, or AlphaZero did it a lot. Castles, rook e8, queen c2, and now this move h6. And this is the move, actually AlphaZero played h6 and had many interesting games against Stockfish, which are in our book Game Changer, of course, including one absolutely fantastic one called the Rook's Pawn Symphony, which, I mean, just quite apart from obviously our bias in about the book and AlphaZero, I mean, really is such a fantastic game. You have
that game was so good, like both the Rook's pawns moving up the board. Exactly.
And the beautiful thing is that we had a mail from a Dutch player who said he'd been so inspired by it. He'd read the book, that chapter, and he went to his club evening and then played a game that was exactly the same. And all of his teammates were saying, "My goodness, what did you find? How did you do this?" And then he just showed them the book, and he showed us the game, and we even did a video on it. It was really quite incredible. But the key thing is this move h6, and this move h6 has been black players have avoided it for hundreds of years, in actual fact. But Kramnik started doing it, and then AlphaZero, of course, discovered it for itself. And the big idea is the following: that after bishop h4,
which was played,
knight h5. Yeah, and of course with the pawn on h6, you couldn't play knight h5 because the h7 pawn would be hanging.
Yeah. So if that pawn was back there, this bishop could come along and take it.
Exactly, but after bishop e7, queen e7, what this means is that White's standard plan, playing the knight to e2, is to play f2 to f3 and e2 to e4. Arrows, please.
Yes.
Like that. But having played this move h6 and then swapped off the dark square bishops in this way, White can't play f3 because of queen takes e3. So simple and yet quite effective. So, but the theory goes on, of course. So White plays rook e1,
which he did.
Indeed. Knight b6, and then knight c1.
And is this a move that Geary played then?
This is Geary who first played this, I think. And the idea is simply that you've got the rook on e1, so you can play f3. And this knight is also coming round to b3 to c5. c5, and that's quite a nice square for the knight, a nice outpost, and attacking the pawn on b7. Now, I think that Black's normal move here is to play queen g5, stopping White from
put it on a analysis.
Yeah, I think stopping White from playing f3.
Okay.
The game can go on. I think queen d2 is the move here. Again, threatening to play f3, and it just sort of it all sorts of carries on. But I think if you go queen d2, I think Black's got bishop f5 here to try and exchange off those light squared bishops. So Yeah, I mean, this is all pretty, this is got quite sharp. I mean, I think
looks like both sides know their theory pretty well then.
I think both sides know their theory. Yeah, I mean, I think this was, generally thought to be okay for black, but these structures are quite strange, really. They're just like closed Rye Lopez as well. That thought to be fine for black, and if you let an engine play it, then the engine will outplay you in double quick time, and you'll wonder what happened to you. But in human games, awkward. And I've scored enormous amounts of points from this structure as white. So I'm quite a fan of this structure. But again, if I've played against if I play this structure against an engine, then it's normally fine. But the closed Rye Lopez positions, the slow Rye Lopez positions, again, I've scored enormously as white against reasonably strong opposition, but against engines, hopeless that one. But this is quite interesting. So we're going to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I think f3 is going to be white's main idea, followed by queen f2, g4. And if that doesn't work out, then knight b3 to c5 and just play on the queen side. It's quite nice. I mean, spreading your bets really. You can play on both sides.
All right, fantastic. So let's have a look at the girls under 18 now. And so we have top board is Julia Volovic against Trisha Kanyamarala. So Trisha is the sister of Taran, whose game we just saw a second ago. So let me just see if I can see. Can you see Julia?
Julia's got a funny. I'm trying to remember her.
Julia's name I know is Julia Tatad.
Oh, okay. I thought she had a different one.
Yeah, depends on which.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course.
Actually, I can't see it this second.
Yeah, you can do / observe, and then the name. If you know her actual name, then you can actually. So / observe, and then afterwards.
Julia Tatad.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. Just look on the right-hand side now, and you've got Julia Tatad.
There it is. I see it.
Oh, Secret Star. We've seen Secret Superstar before, indeed.
We certainly have. In fact, both these players played a lot in the Online British earlier this year.
Yeah, yeah. So, what is this? This is a queen.
Let's see it from the start. Nimzo Indian.
Okay, so d5, pretty sharp line for black. I mean, you've really got some the chance for some really super sharp stuff. So a3, that's definitely not shirking the challenge. Yeah, and now all sorts of moves. c5, knight e4, but black here plays h6, which is a little bit super solid, really. I think this is really. You sort of say this really gives white the initiative here, because you've got a sort of a d5 structure, but where black swapped off the dark squared bishop, which is always going to be nice. So white playing quite sensibly here, developing the dark squared bishop outside the pawn chain. I must say that g4 in this position is vaguely tempting me.
G4.
Yeah, or even earlier before bishop f4. No, just because there's this pawn on h6 simply. So
yeah,
if you go
give it up, open the G file, and go for mate.
Yeah. But that h6 pawn is a bit of a hook, really. But okay, I mean that's something completely crazy. So b6 and now b4. So this is very ambitious from white. So quite interesting. It's going to get quite sharp now, I think. Because if black plays bishop b7,
black's on c5.
Yeah, there we are. I thought so. If black plays bishop b7, white plays c5. It's really got a grip on the center there and the queen side. So this is the breaking move. And now, yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. I mean, the one drawback to playing a bishop to f4 always is that in the queen c2 Nimzo, is that c takes d5 allows knight takes d5, forking the queen on c3 and the bishop on f4. So this is always a bit of an irritation. But okay, that's the one thing. But yeah, now the very important point is that bishop d6, which seems to be a good move, forking rook on f8 and the pawn on c5 allows knight e4, which wins a piece.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you can't do that.
No, so we need to find a different idea. Now, I mean, quite a common idea would be to play d takes c5, b takes c5, and b5. That's a very common idea in these types of structures. Only the problem.
Go Jetta.
Oh, go Jetta! Hi. So the only problem.
I'm going to put on the analysis board actually.
Oh, dun dun dun!
I keep almost pressing upgrade by mistake.
I think.
Okay, sorry. So you were saying.
So d takes c5, b takes c5, and b5 is would be quite a normal positional way of playing. You just sort of get this, sort of space advantage on the queen side somehow. But the problem is here is that the bishop has gone to f4 already. So knight e4 is actually quite.
Are you saying you probably would choose not to put your bishop on f4?
Yeah, I mean, I would normally, I think, have played maybe a plan with g3 and bishop g2 in that position, and then just castle. That would have been all my plan of g4, But I mean, bishop f4 is a perfectly reasonable move, but there are a few tactical inconveniences to it, and knight e4 here is one of them. That the queen will have to move from c3, and then you'll go queen a5 check afterwards.
Yeah. So just knight e4 right away.
Yeah, knight e4 right away, and then you can't cover. And then you're going queen a5 afterwards, and black's getting a fair amount of counterplay, I think.
Yeah.
So we need to find a different move after c5. What is natural here? I mean, you got to think. You just got to think. You got to reason your way through this, really, because I mean, I don't really want to play bishop e2 because I feel that black's going to play d takes c4 at some stage, and I'd rather take just with the bishop on c4. So I'd rather not waste a move on that. So the natural, the first continuation that I would certainly think of is either rook c1 or rook d1. Yeah. Just trying to bring the rook to the center, and then we'll just wait to see what black does. But I think that black's, rook to c1 or probably rook to d1 would be my natural choice, because the queen's on there.
Yeah, because then you could open up this line like you were going to before.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that feels most natural. And then black's got a number.
I mean, you certainly wouldn't castle, right? Because it's just way too open. You'd put your rook on d1 rather than.
That's right. That's right. And then black's got different ideas. I mean, bishop a6 is one idea for black. Just to try you're going to follow up with rook c8 and try and put pressure on c4. I mean, I probably White might play that idea then of d takes c5 and b5 maybe, or b5 straight away. Just gain a tempo and gain that space. Or you could just play a simple bishop b7. You could simply play, instead of bishop a6, you could also just play a simple bishop b7 and just and we're just going to see what White's going to do.
Yeah. So just as commenting, Trisha's used more time here. So once you get into the end game, that could be a factor. They've got 45 minutes for these games, so sort of reasonably slow for online.
There's no increment or anything like that.
Let's check that when someone plays a move. I imagine there is a little increment.
Okay. Yeah, this is, for online, this is really long play actually. But yeah, this is.
Julia must know this pretty well. I think she's played very fast, and I know she's very good on her theory, and she studies openings well, and so yeah, let's see what she's got up her sleeve. Perhaps she's out of theory now with c5. Just looking at that, judging by the time.
Yeah, that's quite possible.
Okay, let's look at the next board, which is Imogen Dyson against Lara Puta. And so that's Imogen 10. We should be able to see.
Now, yeah, I think you'll go back to the chat there.
To go and
observe Imogen 10.
Yeah. Okay.
It's at the bottom there.
Here it is. All right.
We've got a Dutch stonewall here.
We do. Let's see it. So.
Oh, Dutch stonewall with bishop e7. That's what I always used to do. Botvinnik. Obernik always used to play it. Rather than putting the bishop on d6, he'd put the bishop on e7. Okay, bishop on d6 after.
He's moved it to d6 now.
Yeah, possible too. It looks strange, but it's not so silly. But normally a little bit later than this. But okay.
This is quite an aggressive opening.
Yeah, and yet also very, very solid as well. It's at engine level, funnily enough, the Stonewall Dutch pretty much always leads to a draw.
Okay.
The engines hate it, actually. If you give them, if you give them the opening, the evaluation is awful, but they always seem to hold it. So it is actually a very good and solid opening.
Yeah.
So
the girls' match is only 3 boards, and England needs a win. So actually, we're quite lucky for this round to have 2 whites and 1 black.
Okay.
So if we do take a draw, and if we, sometimes with those kind of things, you try and win on the white and draw on the black.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be so bad.
So I'm just trying to think whether this is a good or a bad Stonewall. Knight h5 is a touch risky. I mean, one of the ideas for white is to play knight f4 here, and then after knight f4 you take with the e pawn. Then if you can manage to kick the knight away with f3, it's a little bit complicated because you've played h4 already, but if you can play f3, then you've got to, basically the knight has to move away, and then you've got a free line against that backward pawn on e6. So that is knight f4 is definitely an idea.
It looks like black could take on g3 though.
Immediately after knight.
No, if we get this f3 in.
Yeah. That's so the fact you played h4 makes that a bit more complicated.
Yeah, I see.
You'd have to play probably king h2 or something and try and get it in. But if you can get in f3, then in principle that's quite. That should be a pleasant edge. Normally, you'd really try and avoid ever taking, letting white get this e takes f4 in. So from that point of view, but I suppose after knight f4, black could just play bishop e8 and just protect the knight that way, And I wouldn't recommend taking on f4 because I think that would, in principle, I think that's always going to be difficult for black. This is going to be quite a long one, really. I mean, in principle, white's probably going to try and. I think black was a little bit afraid there. Well, I mean, black had got the knights a little bit tied up there because I think knight h5 was played because white was threatening f3 to win the knight on e4.
Yeah.
So it's the problem of the superfluous knights, which Mark Gretzky described, where too many knights want to go to the same square, and just on after black's 12th move, knight df6, then too many knights want to go to e4. So I mean, it's possibly why white went h4. Actually, white went knight e5, bishop d7, and then h4. And I think that white's idea was to play f3 just to trap the knight and win it.
Yep. Okay, and so this is just defending that.
Yeah, it's just defending against this threat.
Yeah.
So well, the normal complicated strategical battle here in the Dutch. But I think white's got slightly the better of it. But
okay, cool. Let's see Tashika Aurora.
Tashika Aurora.
Yeah, against Dana Ferguson.
Ooh, well, this one's looking really good for white.
Let's see how we got here. So Catalan.
Okay, it's quite this is quite mainline theory Catalan actually. So bishop d2. I haven't seen bishop d2 very much. Knight c3, bishop c6. This is quite a common plan this way of playing. D takes c5, bishop takes c5, rook fd1, queen b6, maybe a slightly strange move. Queen e7, I think, is more natural there. There's a bit of a logjam of pieces there. E3, okay, yeah. And now black made a bit of a mistake here with knight d5, which white exploited very sharply. Bishop takes d5, knight g5.
Oh, look at the threat here.
Indeed. And now I think another mistake here. I mean, I think you really need to go g6 here. because after f5, white's played very concretely here. Just bishop takes d5, e takes d5, bishop a5, queen a5, and queen b3. And I mean, the d5 pawn is doomed. The b7 pawn's under attack, and we also have a knight f7 at the end. So I think this is completely lost for black.
Yeah. So I guess black would have to try and defend this d5 pawn. But if you do it with the rook, you've got this knight. If you tried to do it like that,
well, even
it's still on freeze, and also there's this kind of thing that could come in.
Yeah.
So you can't defend this pawn, can you? Really?
No. But I mean, it's really awkward because I'm going. I can go queen d5 and then follow up with knight f7, or I could go because I mean, for example, if you go h6, I think that I could just. I mean, rook takes d5 is really strong. Also,
actually, I'll do it on an analysis board.
Yeah.
So h6.
So I can go. Rook d5 is really strong, but for example, queen d5, king h8, knight f7 check. King h7, queen f5 check.
Yeah.
King g8, and then it's really your choice. I mean, queen e6 even works, because you're attacking the rook on c8. But I mean, knight takes h6 check is really strong.
Just here.
Yeah, it takes queen g6 and then rook d7. So I mean, this is just. I'm afraid this has gone really quickly. I think knight d5 wasn't such a good move, but f5 really has given white a winning chance, and I think that the white's taken it there. Queen b3 is very strong.
Yeah, so looking good for Toshika Aurora here, and that h6. Sorry, that was my. Looks like it's my prediction move. Dana is having a think about what to do about this d pawn being on freeze. Okay, let's check out the younger age groups. So let's first of all look at the under 14s. Now, in the under 14s, the situation's a little bit different in that England are ahead of Ireland on the cross table. And it's still England v Ireland. So we've got a 6-board match here. And in round 3, we had the same match. England won 5-1 against Ireland.
Okay.
So let's have a look at that. So board 1 is Edazanzu against Kavin Venkatasan.
Okay.
Right. So wait a minute. I've got my little list. So we need to Eddie 988. And I'll do an observe. Do I run out of slots to observe after a while?
Yes, I think you do, but we'll deal with that when we come to it.
Yes.
Or maybe you've come to it already, actually.
I think I might be there already.
Just post the analysis boards at the bottom, Natasha. That's so
this
just
one like this.
Yeah, you just close the X and then keep on Xing, and then you'll get some more spaces there.
Excellent.
And there's also a few 1-0s already, so
yes, we will still have a look at them, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So try observe again. That should be working now.
Did that help?
No, we're not getting anything there. So maybe it might be that he's finished already, or
I need an underscore. There we go. Hey.
Ooh! I've seen this. I've seen this opening quite often in junior games.
Okay. Let's close Sicilian. All right. Let's quickly whiz through this. I used to play this stuff. Although
not so much with A4, I guess. Because,
but A6, A4 you would sometimes answer, wouldn't you?
Yeah, often you played bishop b3 and just kept on going, but this is quite decent.
Oh, this is nostalgic.
F5 from white, b4. All right, so this has got pretty sharp now.
You'd think you're just dropping the knight. Oh, you're just choosing whether to drop it back to e2 or d1.
No, I don't think so, because then black will play e takes f5, which will be irritating, I think, because black's chasing the knight away from c3, so that e takes f5 is possible. I think you're looking to go all in here, Natasha.
Or sack a piece.
Well, I don't know, maybe eventually, but I mean, queen h4, bishop g5, knight g5, maybe. You know, that's what that's what you'd be looking at in this position.
So queen h4 here. All right, so takes.
And then probably knight g5, I'm guessing.
Okay, so we don't want to get mated, so we defend.
And then f6.
f6. Oh, sorry, f6 for white. All right. So if black plays taking the knight, we take the
bishop on g5. No, I just take back with the bishop on g5. I must be winning there. I'm just going to go rook f3 to h3 and mate you. We'll go fg and bishop f6 and mate you. We'll go fg and queen h6 and mate you. We'll go fg and bishop f6 and mate you. It's in any case, I will mate you. So I think, I mean, you know, in general, I think this is what you have to do. You've got to go for it. So queen h4. Now I don't know what black's alternatives are here. I mean, g takes f5 is one possibility. That's one thing you've got to consider. Presumably, also f6 is a possibility, just to keep something out of g5 and you know, maintain the threats against the center.
So just like that.
I don't particularly like it. I wouldn't particularly want to do it, but it's maybe not so stupid. Or otherwise, b takes c3. Or is there anything else interesting? I'm not sure really. I think that's about, maybe d takes c4 is possible as well, but because the idea is if you go f6, I go knight f5. That's the idea.
Oh yeah.
I always want to do that, but I might still throw in a knight g5 or something. So I think that's b takes c4 is probably not very good. So so let's have a look at this b takes c3 just quickly, just to have some ideas. So I think, yeah, I mean, f6. What I was worried about was that
f6 straight away.
You might go. Is that worrying? I don't know. Actually, knight f5 or yeah, knight f5. I was vaguely thinking. So you know, I get e takes f5, and then you go bishop takes f6. But I mean, bishop g5 here is not so crazy. You know, this also looks quite dangerous here. And I think that knight g5 and f6 is also very dangerous. I think this is probably very good for taking the piece is probably very good for. Oh, unless wait a minute, after queen h4, I think we go knight takes f5, don't we?
Okay, knight takes f5. So we'd have to take the queen.
Yeah.
But then we're losing material.
We don't want to be in an ending. We don't want to be in an ending, really.
No. Okay. So what if we drop the queen back?
Yeah. Then we go b takes c3. I think.
We better take on f5.
Yeah, I'll take it back.
With the e pawn.
E pawn, yeah. Well, yeah. No, it's probably safest to do this, I think.
Okay, so let's. Someone else's pieces, so let's.
Yeah, I could. f6.
Yeah.
I think, in general, I think black's going to be doing quite well here.
Yeah. Okay. So knight takes f5. We think.
Yeah, I think that's
to queen h4.
Yeah. So maybe we should go something like knight g5 first.
Before queen h4.
Yeah.
So okay. So here, still going up a piece.
Yeah, I think that's better. Because if you go e takes f5, then I've got knight takes d5. I mean, that's the whole point, you know. If you go b takes c3, I can go f6, or I can go queen h4, which transposes.
Yeah. So what is the same defense then? This one?
Yeah. Okay. I've got a few possibilities here. I mean, knight takes d5 is quite interesting. Maybe. The idea is queen takes d5, bishop takes d5. It's not crazy. I mean, f7 is also, you know, quite under pressure there, so it's not 100% crazy, this one. I mean, otherwise I could just take on f5 and then go, yeah, I mean, otherwise after knight takes f5, I just take on f5. B takes c3, queen h4. And if you go h6, I go f6 again, you know, which is quite dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go f5. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not clear or anything like that, but it's, you know, decent attacking chances for white, I think. So I think knight g5 is probably the most accurate.
Yeah. So anyway, so what you're saying is really, after this knight's attacked, we're probably best just to leave it there, do some kind of sacrifice, go all in.
Yeah.
We started with an all-in opening, so we might as well go all in.
Exactly.
All right. Let's see if they've played any more moves. Ah, he's done my move of dropping the knight back.
No. He's got f6 in actual fact. An intriguing little idea. Takes e5 and then gone knight d1.
Ah, yeah. Okay, so let's see. So it was like this. So f6 takes. Okay.
Yeah, that's intriguing. I mean, if white gets all the moves in that he wants, in other words, knight f2 or knight e3 to g4, then all of a sudden that's quite a dangerous initiative, because the you've given up the f pawn, so the bishop on c1, which is normally quite restricted, is actually quite open there. So that's actually quite interesting. The only thing is, you know, in general, you'd think that this shouldn't really be good, you know, for white, but it's a very interesting idea. Yeah. I think maybe black should be playing something like queen c7 or something, and then after bishop f4, maybe f6 or f5. You know, just to I think probably black should be challenging white. You know, you shouldn't be letting white come around and get everything that white wants. I think you should be challenging that center, and you can do it for the moment. So you should probably be doing it now. You know, knight f2 to g4, and suddenly white's winning, I think. You know, so
if we can get this in.
Yeah, a bit of a crucial moment. I mean, f5 or f6 is also possible, but I think then you're, well, I mean, yeah, you could do. You could do. I'm not 100% sure. It's a little bit loose for black, but so I think I prefer queen c7 and then f6.
All right.
I mean, I understand the f6, you know, completely as a move. I'm just wondering a little bit whether it's going to be a little bit loosening, really, but we will see.
Okay, we're going to look at Arjun Kalani now, which is board 2 of the under-14s, and Arjun is playing against Patrick Brozinski.
I reckon there's probably going to be a draw quite quickly, this one.
All right, I'll quickly review the moves then. Roy Lopez.
Yeah, it's quite a sharp line of the Lopez with the bishop on the a7 g1 diagonal. So white sacrifices a pawn. Not sure that was totally convincing, really. I'm not sure about bishop e5 either. But okay. Takes f3. Yeah, I think white maybe gave that pawn away, but playing quite convincingly here, and now looking to just to liquidate everything. Well, it's just queen c4, and then we can take that pawn on d6, because there's no there's no fork really. I mean, takes bishop d6, queen b6 allows queen c5 or bishop c5. So
Hi, Julio.
Hey, Julio.
It's Matthew though, not Andrew.
So yeah, and bishop rook d6, bishop d6. Wow, no, queen d2, whatever, bishop b8 or bishop b4. So I think yeah, I would expect this to be ending in a draw quite soon.
Okay. Fine.
I mean, just trying to think. Is there anything clever you could do? Rook c8. I think we go queen e2 then simply, and I just don't think. No, I think this should just end in a draw quite soon. I think.
Okay. Next one, board 3, has a brilliant username, Nightmare Freddy, which is James Merriman, son of John Merriman.
Is that nightmare or nightmare?
Oh, have I spelled it wrong? Yeah. Try that. Did that work?
No, it could be that he's finished already, of course.
It could be. Yeah, I'm gonna just.
I mean, we are getting to the point where games are starting to get finished. So.
All right. If I refresh my chess results, it's not up on chess results yet.
Okay. Not an underscore or anything in between. No. Okay.
I'll see if I can find the actual link as well. Let's put on the next one anyway. The next one is Arnav Trivedi against Aratha Prabir, and let's do that. Ghost the Casper.
Casper, the friendly ghost.
That did work.
Indeed. There was also a program called The New Shmoo. Did you ever see
I remember The New Shmoo. Yeah.
New Shmoo. I keep on trying to hit Natasha with all the TV that I watched when I was young, which turns out to be actually quite a lot, really. So,
yeah. And I thought you were studying chess.
Indeed. I thought so too, but I was probably remembering the wrong things, because I think I can probably remember more of these TV series than of the chess I was studying at the time. Not strictly true.
Okay, so England is playing black here, Ireland white, and let's see the game. Caro-Kann defense fantasy.
Oh, okay, that's why it looks like a French.
It's an early f3 for white.
Yeah, black plays e6, and then you just end up going e5 and f4 later, and then it's just like a Steinitz French. Yeah, he'd think it was a French, so. Okay, c4's quite early, really. Not normally a good idea, but somehow white. I mean, white should be getting his pawns rolling with g4 f5. I mean, that's really that's really what you need to do. And here, white's placed his pieces a little bit unfortunately on the queen side. So yeah, this is going to be decent for black. Although I'm not 100% sure how we should really continue.
Would black want to castle kingside? Not right now, but in due course.
At some stage, I think, yeah.
Oh, raid. Mr. Dodgy has raided with a party.
Mr. Dodgy. Now, Mr. Dodgy, there's one thing I really want to ask Mr. Dodgy. I don't know if he's listening, but he tweeted that he really admired streamers in general, because every day they managed to get up and put on a shirt or a t-shirt. But so that implied that Mr. Dodgy never wears a shirt or t-shirt during his streams. So I wanted to know whether this was correct.
I'm sure Mr. Dodgy wears a shirt or a t-shirt during his. I'm sure I've seen Mr. Dodgy's streams, and he was definitely wearing things.
It's but fantastic. Thanks so much, Mr. Dodgy.
Oh, half of his recent streams, the camera's been off.
Well, I was going to say,
we just don't know. We don't know what you're wearing.
Because Mr. Dodgy streams, it's always they're always very artistically set up, but Mr. Dodgy is sometimes hard to see. So I was indeed wondering whether he was wearing wearing a shirt or indeed trousers. But it's but anyway, that's all good.
Mr. Dodgy, I just wonder, have you ever played in the Glorney Cup? This is what we're covering at the moment, and I imagine you maybe have at some point.
Oh,
for Scotland. Did you ever play in the Glorney Cup, Matthew? You must have.
No, never.
Didn't you? I played in the Faber Cup, I think, so at least once, I think twice.
Okay.
And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's I'm not sure. I mean, I got sort of very strong very quickly. So I mean, I played the England-Scotland matches. So under 9s, under 11s, where we went up to Edinburgh, you know, and played these 50 board matches. So I did those, but I think that was more or less the only junior.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Dodgy didn't play as a junior. He started playing late. Okay. Like Mark Hebden as well. He started when he was 19, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, incredible to have become so strong, because you know Mark was nearly 2600. I think 2595 was his highest rating ever. You know, and
yeah.
I mean, that pretty incredible. You know, starting chess that late.
Yeah, because apparently, if you haven't started, you know, if you're not a IM by the time you're that age, then there's no hope. But
yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's. But have you got any more matches planned, Mr. Dodgy? Any more matches against chessable colleagues, or because I spectated.
You played. I know who you played. You played Micah, didn't you?
Indeed, I think I spectated that one. Yeah, I spectated that one there. So it's funny that actually a lot of the people on our stream they also spectate Mr. Dodgy as well. So. I found Percy Hepworth back on Mr. Dodgy's stream, so we had a nice chat there. So black is bishop b4. That was a risky one. It does end up gaining a tempo on the queen, but it gave up the dark squared bishops there. So
hi, Raylin.
Hey, Raylin. So I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. I mean, you've got to have something really convincing with black to be able to justify giving up the dark square bishop, really, because now it's going to get very hard to castle kingside. I mean, we're going to get hit by f5 and bishop h6 and that sort of stuff. I think I would have preferred to take with a knight and keep my dark squared bishop. You know, that would have been the safer alternative, definitely. So not sure here what black should do. I mean, because I mean, white's even got ideas. Well, no, probably not yet. I mean, b3 could be met by rook a2, but you've got to watch out that the queen side doesn't suddenly explode in your face as black. And I mean, you really do need that h8 rook. I mean, if you've got the open a file and you want to fight for it, you've got to have your h8 rook. But castles allows f5, I think, so which I'm not happy about. This is a tricky one. This is a very tricky one for black, I think. I mean, I'd like to play the hypermodern king d8 to c7, really.
So what, just king d8 now?
Yeah. But I'm a little bit nervous. I don't want the castle kingside. I think my king's just a sitting target there. So, but if I go king d8 to c7, I'm very worried that I'll get hit by b3 at some stage, opening up the queen side. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is tricky for black. I think I'd rather be white again now.
Okay, let's move on to board 5. This has just finished. Let's do just a quick run through the moves. This is Shivam Agrawal against Karel.
It's a quattro stagioni. Well, 4 pawns attack anyway. Always approved the 4 pawns attack. One of my favorite openings when I was 12. I dreamed up all sorts of brilliant. Wow, white's going for that. No messing around. Oh, picking up a piece there.
Oh, yes.
I kept on dreaming up all these brilliant triple pawn sacrifices as white. Unfortunately, I saw them recently, and I can confirm that they weren't actually that good. But still, it was. Bishop h2. That was to give up the dark square bishop. You've really got to have a concrete reason for that. A real killer move afterwards, because that dark square bishop is so important. Okay, queen g3. Maybe black missed that one. I'm not sure.
Oh, can you take the queen and
take
on e2? I take that, yes.
So blah blah blah. Oh, very big. Yeah, white's doing really well here, picking up the bishop on d7 as well.
Okay.
Although actually that wasn't that knight sort of vaguely trapped. Not really. I mean, you could go bishop f5 to cover it, which was quite sneaky.
So if the rook drops back, you play bishop f5 and the pawn's pinned. So just sort of here and here to defend, and you can't take it because of the pin.
Yeah, that's annoying. That's annoying. So rook e2. Oh, you could have taken on g2 and then gone rook d8 though there.
Because just here.
Yeah. That would have been if you just taken on e2 instead of rook e3, just taken on e2 and gone rook d8, you would have won the piece back.
So let's. Oh, sorry. Where are we? Right. Here. So here, black could have played takes, and then rook d8. It's still only getting 1 piece back, isn't it? It'd still be
it's 2 pawns to the piece, but I mean, best chance of fighting. I mean that's so. But black played rook e3, bishop f5, quite a nice move, covering h3. Ooh, knight b6, discovered attack. Getting the knight back into play, and after that, it's just 2 extra pieces.
Yeah. Okay, so well played.
Oh, very good.
Another fork, yeah. Very nice checkmate. Well done, Shivam Agrawal. Okay, and board 6 of this match, Dimitrios Zakarian against Daniil Kashinan. And that one is Leo the Rex. I thought I had Leo the Rex, actually.
I thought it was 22, but it could well be that the game is finished, I think.
Yeah.
That one. I seem to remember that had finished, that one. Glow pawn. Oh.
Yeah, I think you are right, and that one's finished. Okay, so let's move on. I'll just see if does it have the results up yet? Doesn't have the results yet. Well, let's move on to the under 12s. Again, this one, England is in the lead here, and so England in round 3. Beat Ireland 5.5-half.
Ooh, okay.
So let's have a look. Round 6. Jude Shearsby is on top board.
Oh, okay.
Which is queen and pawns. Yeah, I'm just gonna get the.
I'm just gonna grab a drink, Natasha. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. And I'm getting the link for the under 12s, which I have here. Okay. We go. And so do we have queen and pawns? We do. Okay, so I'm going to just show it's a Sicilian defense Maroxy bind.
Otherwise, we can go and get one, Petal.
This pawn structure. White's got, they both sides have a triangle of pawns in the center.
Ah, right. Sorry for that, but I desperately needed a drink.
We've got a very interesting pawn structure in the middle of the board here.
Oh, good Lord. Are they really playing chess or another game?
Could be another game.
Oh, was that an exchange sacrifice? It was.
Yep. Oh, and a pawn sack.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that pawn sack. I understand the idea, but it was probably a little bit over the top. But okay. But very inventive play from White here. Really making a lot of noise along the light squares.
Okay, and this is where we are.
Oh, good Lord. Wow. What on earth is happening here? I mean, you know, I suppose the slightly bad thing about the exchange sacrifice was that you get this lovely pawn on c6, but it is supported by a knight on a5, which is, you know, quite offside really. So it's not really contributing anything. You know, if the battle moves to the king's side, then the knight isn't really contributing very much there. And I think that's, you know, that's a little bit of the problem with it. But, you know, White's very strong on the light squares, and this is sort of holding black back at the moment.
Do you think it's enough to make up for an exchange?
I wouldn't have thought so normally, but there are a lot of
there's lots of things happening, isn't there? So this,
there are lots of things happening, yeah.
Pinning the rook and also threatening this pawn on h4.
Well, yeah.
Although if you take it, it's a bit dangerous, isn't it, to take it, because you've got this here, yeah, rook here, and then lining this rook would then be lining up. You know, all these lining up on h2.
Yeah, I mean, you know, something like queen e7 would be, you know, completely possible here as well. Simply, because if you go rook takes g6, I just go queen f6 and then rook g1 mate.
Ooh. So takes, and mate.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be careful with black, because there might be, you know, random tactics where you offer exchanges and then those exchanges happen, and then afterwards the c-pawn queens, you know. So I mean, you've got to be a little bit careful about that. But yeah, I would have thought that queen e7 here would be quite strong. Queen f7 is vaguely interesting, but the problem with that is that well, I just got to be a bit careful, because if you go queen f7 and I just take it, because queen h4 allows rook h7, which is really dangerous, of course. But rook takes, e takes f5.
I'm going to need an analysis board, I think. Let's do it. So, okay, so queen f7 takes.
E takes f5. You go g takes f5 here, which in principle you want to do. I just take on g8, and then go bishop g5. And I'm afraid I will also queen my c-pawn as well.
Oh, this is good for white now.
Yeah, no, this is definitely looking up there. So I mean, that is definitely very good. So you don't want to do that, but Queen E7 would be a better move, I think. And then you're keeping your pieces on dark squares.
And actually, Queen E7 has now been played.
Yeah, I mean, in principle, I think that white is that black is better here, but it's not it's not a clear one. It's one that could go completely bananas as well. So yeah, all to play for, I think.
Okay, board 2 is Harry Zheng Lego Children.
Well, Lego Children, we've come across him before.
We certainly have. We yes, commentated
well,
on most.
It's the Finnish game. Lego Children has won. There.
Well done. Oh, well done, Lego Children.
You got it in the middle there.
Ah, there it is. Do you want to? Should we just whiz through the start?
Mimzo. Oh.
Reminding me of Trisha's game with the C5.
Yeah, but black got caught. White got caught with a fork.
Yeah.
After E5, E4 was coming in.
Yeah. Okay, and so now black's a piece up.
A piece for a pawn up there. And made a mistake.
Let's see. Lego Children is converting well. That H pawn.
Gradually whittling down white's pawns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One by one, munching them up.
And this is going to be good enough. And at this point, white resigns. So nice game by Lego Children. Okay, and board 3, Theo Cowrie, who we've seen lots of times on this channel, who is Whimsical Jam and is still playing.
Against Powerful Wolf.
Okay, yes. Might have seen Powerful Wolf play as well.
I think we have, yeah.
That's familiar to me too. Okay, so let's see. Let's see how it went.
Oh, so this was a Scotch with Queen F6. Okay. Knight 95. Wowsies. Okay.
How's this?
Nah, it's all right for black. This turned out quite well. Got a weak D6 pawn, but white's got weak pawns on E4 and C3. So Queen E3 castles. Yeah. Queen E2, Rook E8. Black playing quite aggressively here. White's just having a few problems holding everything. Okay, pawn drops. Oh. Yeah, that is a very good move.
Hellraise is saying 95 is why he should have played bishop e2 and not bishop d3.
Ah, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Takes and d5. Yeah, I mean, in principle, black's got queen and pawn for queen and 2 pawns actually for rook and bishop. So this really should be a win.
Okay.
Not necessarily quick, but yeah, it should happen in the end.
So an uphill struggle here for Whimsical Jam.
Indeed.
Okay, the next board, board 4, is Kenneth Hobson, which is just been a black win. Should we just see the start of that?
Absolutely.
Oh, this is h6. Not going for the really sharp lines.
Well, it's not so bad actually. It's aims to put the bishop on the long diagonal and could get quite sharp. It's a little bit tricky what white's done. Sort of defending e4 a little bit awkwardly there. Whoa, okay, this definitely got sharp.
Both players have been playing really quickly up to this point, by the way.
Yeah, looking for d4 there. Whoa. How do you play this position quickly?
No.
But white's problem is the bishops, which are somewhat awkward. White's vaguely looked like he's got out of it, but now he's getting hit by other stuff. And this queen on c5 and bishop on b6 are really, yeah, they're not helping really. So king h1.
Well, this is powerful, this attack.
Yeah, this is quite dangerous, all this. Whoa, very nice. Oh no, it's a check. It's a check. Oh my goodness, look at that. The idea was bishop d3, queen h3, but it's queen d3 check. So black's black's completely lost. Oh my goodness me. So what happened here?
Still got his check. The king there.
Okay. Queen e1. Oh, lost the knight. Went for check again. Yeah, but black's got decent compensation here. And now, oh, yeah, rook takes f2, queen g3.
Yeah, very nice. That's really nice, actually. Nice tactic.
Yes, a nice one, that is. So then black is then now completely winning again. My goodness me. Rook f1 and mate.
Mate, well done. Nicely played, that attack at the end there. Okay, and so Soham Kumar is Soham. I can't see it actually. Must be finished. Soham MHD. And Elise Dyson is Elise06. I guess she must be finished as well.
Yeah, we're starting to get quite a few finished games, I think, because we're coming into
yeah. All right. So let's head back to the under 18. Oh, it'd be nice to see the game actually. Can I get to it?
I'm sure you can.
Serve Elise06. No. Okay. Let's go back to the under 18s. And
let's start with board one again. Against
board one, Sasha Brosel. Okay. Will they still be up here? They should be.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at these knights coming in.
Okay, wow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so black's looking a lot better here. Yeah, fantastic knights on d3, g4. Weak pawns on f2. It's going to be a tough one, I think, for white here, unless there are white's able to escape with a move like bishop g5, but I don't think so really. I mean, we can play knight g takes f2, and after bishop d8 we take on d1. That could be very strong. I suppose if knight gf2, will we maybe go rook d2? Is that possible? Maybe possible to do that. So I think you should just go rook d7 though, and if you just go rook d7, then you keep all your advantages, and you're threatening knight b2 and knight f2 and all that stuff. I think that should that looks very strong for white. I think for black, I'd be surprised if you didn't end up winning a pawn somehow as black.
Yeah. Okay. So board one is looking good for black. Let's see Max Turner, who is 3x. There we go. Oh, king and pawn ending. Look at this one.
Oh.
Must be good for white, though.
White is a pawn up indeed.
Yeah, and you can go... Oh, if you go king f5, we'd go, what, g6?
No, we'd probably go... This is quite complicated, actually, this one. Yeah, I mean, the point is if king f5, we'll probably go king e7.
Let's put a...
And maybe just wait for you. Would we do that? Well, no. This is probably just very good for white. It's true. So I was wondering whether after e6 you could go king d6 and just wait, but I think you just go something like h4, and then just go h5 to h6 simply, you know, and it's just going to be winning for you. So I think this is just winning for white.
Yeah.
I think sending is just winning for white. So
that's not promising then for England if board 1 and 2 are looking like they're winning.
No, Lord, yes, that's true.
Ireland. So let's see. We'll just do a quick whiz down the whole team. So board 3 is a UK chess bomber.
It's a bit strange actually because black exchanged off into this ending, this king and pawn ending, and there was actually no need.
Oh, and for board 2.
Yeah. You could have just avoided it and gone for the rook ending, which looks completely drawn. I think that was a bit of a blunder there.
Yeah.
Okay. This one. Ooh, good Lord.
Agreed, Guitar Man. It doesn't look straightforward.
What is this one going to be like? I mean, in this position, there's White's got 2 plans. Either you keep the pawn on a6, and then you bring the king over towards it, or you play the pawn to a7, and then the black king can't move, and then you try and play around with your king. I mean, if there's weaknesses on the black king side, then that second plan works. If there aren't, then it's just a draw.
There aren't especially weaknesses, are there?
No, I think that would probably just end up as a draw. So I think you probably need to keep the pawn on a6 and bring the king over. But then black is going to start taking your pawns as you move over. And that a pawn is quite a long way away, really.
Yeah.
So I would have thought that this would just be drawn in actual fact.
All right.
It's a rather unusual pawn structure on the king side for a rook ending, but I think this is just drawn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess white's playing at some point might play f3, and then we get very symmetrical.
Yeah, and then you just leave the rook on a3, and then just tempo with your king. Then when white plays king d2, you take the pawn on f3 and probably the pawn on h3 as well. Come back. It just takes white ages to get to sort of get moving. So I think this is just a draw.
Okay, let's see board 4. So we think it's 2.5 to Ireland then on those.
Yeah, I think so.
So Jacob est melon.
Jacobi melon. Jacob is.
Is this promising? This looks promising to
me. Black's looking pretty good. Yeah, black's probably winning here, I guess. I don't think there's a way of holding your pawns really. So no, black seems to be winning here.
Okay. Very nice. And so let's look at board 5 as well. Initial Flatter. Fearless Raven, we need to see. Fearless Raven. Oh, black's very short on time here.
Yeah, and white's the exchange up, so this should just be an easy win for white.
Okay, so if all the results go as we expect, it's going to be 2.5 all.
No, really?
Yeah, in this crucial match, because it's looking good for Ireland on the top 2, good for England on the bottom 2, and board 3 looks drawn.
Wow. Are you sure? 'Cause I thought the board before. I thought that what wasn't. Oh no, England wasn't white. England was black.
England was black on board.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. No, that's great. Wow. Wouldn't that be amazing? And then a win for board points for Ireland. So
Ireland would win. So as it currently stands, if all those results go exactly as we predict, then Ireland would win the Glorney just on board points, equal match points.
Fantastic.
So let's see. Okay, let's check in on the girls. So this was board 1, Julia Tatad against Secret Superstar, and we thought black, when we left it, we thought black was doing pretty well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, it was a complicated game.
Yeah, I mean, this is still pretty equal, actually. Just there's not much in it, really. Opposite color bishops, rooks can easily be exchanged on the open file. So, yeah, I'd expect this to be a draw quite soon.
Okay. And board 2 is Imogen Dyson against Lara Puta.
Yeah, you got it down there.
So
a little bit lower. There we are.
There we go. Let's have a look. So England's black on this game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 1, 2, 3.
Counting the pawns here.
Equal pawns.
Isn't black's a pawn up, right? Or am I?
No. It's equal pawns. It's equal pawns.
Oh, you know, you're right. I can count to 6, honestly. They've both got 6 pawns.
Yeah, I think this is probably just even. I think. I mean, black's bishop on h5 is actually, it was probably quite good whilst it was attacking, but now it's looking a little bit out of the way. But on the other hand, the rook on g5 is a little bit restricted. So I guess black just goes rook d3, doubles the rooks on the d file, and then black's perfectly safe. I think that's. I'd expect a draw here as well, really.
Okay, so it's going to be all on board 3, which was actually we've seen board 3. Tashika Aurora. We thought it was promising, and she has now won this game against Dana Ferguson.
Okay, so it's looking like
left it.
Yeah,
with that D pawn being in trouble. So let's see. It was around here. Oh, so this was the line we were looking at, actually.
Oh, very nice.
There we go, and that same theme with the.
Oh, nice last little trap, looking for queen takes f2, bishop e3.
Yeah, but it wasn't to be, and so white won that one. Okay, so both matches very, very close. It's looking like the under 18 girls, England's 1 up, and it could be 2 draws, whereas the boys, it looks to be on course for 2.5 all. Should we go back to? Let's go back to. I think it was board 2 with that pawn ending. Let's see how that's developed. Hi, Kenneth Hobson. Oh, Anna Bishop. Hi, I know you. How are you doing? Kenneth Hobson's on board 4. He won, didn't he? Yeah, I'm an actuary. We met. I'll tell you, your friend. Yes. Richard Skelding and Scarfell Pike. Marvelous. Thank you, Anna. That's so funny. And congratulations to Kenneth for winning his game.
Yeah, this one's looking lost for black, I'm afraid.
Yes. Could black just try and push the kingside pawns at all and try and divert that king somehow?
Well, tell me
Let's
how.
have a look. Let me. All right. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Okay. So, all right. Let's try. Let's start like that.
Yeah, that one's probably not the right one because I just go king f5 then, and my king stops everything.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So the other way, by elimination, the other way is that one.
Yeah, then I'd probably play h4, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't go g5 now. I mean, you can go king f7, but then I'll go king d6, and after g5, I'll go e5. If you go gh, I'll go king d7.
I'm going to go g4.
Yeah, I'll go king d7.
We're still going to go king d7. So I have to go.
You have to go king e8.
I have to go king 8. At which point you're probably taking my.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I'm just going to take. Let's just see how that looks. I haven't counted it yet. So g6, h3, g7. Oh, good lord, it's not as clear as you might think. Oh no, I'll go e6. I'll go e6. Sorry, I'll just go e6.
You're going to go here.
Yeah, I'm threatening g7 now.
So I have to go here.
Well, yeah, then I go g7.
Oh, but it doesn't work.
If you go king f8, I go e7. So yeah, so I think this is just completely lost. It's always,
okay, yeah,
always trickier and closer than you think, but I think it is completely lost.
Okay, Jacob Estmelon has in fact won. So that was the board 4. So so if board 2 loses, that would make it 1-all. Let's check in again. Let's check in again quickly on board 1, which
at the top there, Sach b6. Oh, lower.
Down there. Yes, Sasha.
Oh, good lord, what has happened here? Okay, my goodness, black sacrificed the exchange there. That was very unnecessary. Surely it wasn't necessary to do that.
Oh, so do we have chances to win this match then?
Yeah, I mean, this was. I was thinking this was going to be a clear black win, but yeah, no, this looks very. I think this was just a blunder from black. I think black just missed something. Just forgot about something obvious just for one moment. Because I mean, is white better here?
See how it happened? Where did we leave it? We left
19 bishop g5.
So sorry, Matthew, say again.
19 bishop g5.
So we saw this. Okay.
Yeah, we just said rook d7 or something like that. Just
yes.
to or rook d6. What a move like that basically just keep on holding stuff. But black played knight takes b2, and that then just rook d8, and that just won the exchange. I think yeah, either black missed something afterwards, or just had just a moment of blindness there. So yeah, because this is looking quite well, I mean, I don't think white should lose this, put it that way. I mean, white all
right, well, this makes a huge difference to the match.
It certainly does.
Let's check in on board 3, which is this rook and pawn ending. So Aravamudam has chosen the option. We were talking about options of leaving the pawn on a6 or advancing to a7, and he's gone for advancing the pawn. And what's happened with the king side? This h pawn's made it all the way up to h6.
Black played h5, which was a little bit on the risky side there, and so yeah, now black's king cannot move at all. And I think this is just winning for white now. Yeah, it's just winning for white now. Because I mean, I'm just ready to take the pawn on g. Oh, rook h8 check. Yeah, and it's just win. It's just one rook h8 check. Just
rook h8 check and queen the pawn.
Yeah.
I would expect.
I think black's going for one last trap here.
Oh, is there a stalemate trap?
No, worse, a mate trap. So the idea is after rook h8 check, black wants to
I
go.
want to see it on the board. I want to see this mate trap.
So rook h8 check, king g5.
Yeah.
And then it's a8 queen.
Yeah.
And rook g1 mate.
That is evil.
Yeah, but we can go h4 check. We can go h4
instead of
a8 queen. We go h4.
Oh, good grief! What a threat! So we go here, check first of all.
Yeah.
So takes.
And then a8 queen.
Then we queen. Then they go here, but we've got an escape square now.
Well, we've got several, indeed.
Yeah, we could take the h pawn. Or go to f3. We've got all sorts of escape squares now. Okay, so UK chess bomber won't fall for this. That's my prediction.
Yeah, so I think it's suddenly looking very good for the UK team there, because
Yes.
all the borderline things have seemed to have turned England's way.
All right, so let's see board 5 as well, because that one was looking in our favour. So let's just check that one.
That was Fearless Raven, wasn't it? Or
I was at yes, you remember better than me. Fearless Raven. Did we have a look at that, Fearless Raven? Let's see.
Yeah. So white with the exchange up, and indeed still the exchange up.
Okay, and very sensibly creating a pass pawn on the queen side.
Yeah, we go b4 here. It's always going to be enough.
Okay, so this is looking very promising now for England.
Incredibly so, yes.
All right.
Oh, that's.
I'm going to check back in then on Julia Tassad against Secret Superstar, because this one, Secret Superstar, is now a little bit low on time.
Okay, it should still just be a draw. I mean, there's not very much happening here at all. But obviously, in time pressure, anything can happen. I think that's one thing we've learned about from the lockdown and online chess. Then that's definitely that truth. The one thing is this H pawn is a little bit sensitive, because is Julia going to go bishop f8 now?
She could do, couldn't she? Because how do you defend it? Oh, you have to advance it, I suppose.
And then I go rook h6 check. And then you go king f7.
Let's have a look at
I
that.
go bishop c5 and you go h4 check.
Okay, so we're looking at this.
Yeah, this is probably still fine for black, because after bishop somewhere, you go h4 check.
We have to go back.
Yeah. I mean, it's not 100% clear, but I think that's probably...
we don't do this, though, because look, there's a...
Yes, no, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, and the rook goes.
You'd have
so
to
that's
go back,
what we don't do.
Yeah, you'd have to go back to h2, but your rook's short of squares anyway, so I don't think that's the right way. But what we could do is go, instead of allowing h4, we could just go h4 ourselves here, maybe.
Just right here?
No, maybe after bishop f8 first.
So bishop f8 here, and then just h4.
Yeah, and try and get, two pass pawns. Not completely crazy. I mean, it should always be drawn, but yeah. I mean, if you want to try and confuse the opponent in time trouble, then you've got a few possibilities there.
So if black goes for this one,
yeah, that's probably the best one actually. But I can. Do I dare play f4?
I was just looking at that. Yeah,
it's a little bit risky, but I can try. I can play f4. I don't know. I mean, I could get in bishop c5 and then e4. It's a bit risky. I'm not 100% sure about it. I don't have the feeling that this is going to be better for white, really, somehow. But if you're thinking, 28 seconds left for black.
Yeah.
Then
make it tricky.
I think they are getting some small increment. I think, because I'm sure she had 28 seconds and now has 32.
Okay.
So maybe a 5-second increment or something like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
I just went rook a7 there. Yeah, 15 seconds.
Oh, it's 15, okay. Yes, so that's quite a decent increment.
That's a pretty good increment, yeah. Oh, we've got lots of games there. Satch B6 beat 1 on board 1.
Oh, well, that's a very good result for Sasha Brosel. Yeah, look at this now. Yes.
And then UK Chess Bomber beat Murphy Gambit. He didn't fall. He didn't fall for the
didn't fall for the checkmate. So
checkmate.
Yes, it looks like it happened just as it in fact happened exactly as we thought it would.
Indeed, yeah. Adam Collins on board 2 did beat Firex.
Okay, so boards 1 to 3 then is 2-1 for England.
Yeah, then Fearless Raven won as well there. So
Fearless Raven won 5-1. So England has actually won the match and I guess won the Glorney Cup. So
indeed,
congratulations to the under-18 team.
A dramatic turnaround there.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, actually, in the women's, Lara G and Imogen have drawn.
Indeed.
So that's that. So a draw already. We just saw Julia Tatad, and the other one is Imogen. Do we know what happened with Imogen?
No, that is
draw as well. Oh no, sorry. Imogen is pulled. To the other one is Tashika Aurora, who won. So okay, so it's 1.5. Julia basically needs to draw this for England to win.
Okay. Julia's actually playing for a win here, I think.
Okay, so that's promising for England. Oh, Secret Superstar just offers a draw.
Okay, interesting.
So Julia could take it, and that means we win. I don't know whether she knows though, whether she.
I mean, do you have team captains or?
I don't know. I don't know if they get instructions or can see the other boards. I think you can sometimes. They may be allowed, even it's under these rules. I think they probably are allowed to see their teammates' results.
Okay, but I wouldn't. Certainly wouldn't criticize Julia for carrying on here because
no,
she's actually quite nasty for black with little time. F4 check. We're gonna get some very the pawns are going to start moving quite quickly in actual fact.
And she can bring her king up, can't she?
I mean, you've got a number of tempting moves here. I mean, King H4 is very tempting. There's even Bishop D4 check followed by F5, which is very tempting. I mean, King G6, I think King H4 is extremely strong. I think King H4 here, just take control of G5, and then you're threatening F5 and Bishop E3 mate. So that's slightly less good, really. But because you'll go King G5, Rook G7 check, King H6, and you're just that's gonna slightly annoy the. That's a good reaction there. Oh, but Rook H7 is maybe quite strong here. Threatening Bishop E3 check and Rook H6.
Okay. Yeah.
I think black's in real trouble here. Black's in all sorts of difficulties here. I mean, Bishop E3 check, King F6.
Straight away, you couldn't you?
Bishop E3 check, King F6, King F4 maybe is even stronger. Actually, I'm just going to play E5 mate. That's just winning. It's all winning.
Let's have a look. So this is the line here, 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 and if black, I don't know, moves the bishop or something, then we've got this.
Or Bishop D4.
Mate.
Yeah, or Bishop D4. I mean, there's multiple ways of mating. So, yeah, I think it's over in actual fact and principle. So, one just needs to keep a nerve and just calculate. Just keep on calculating a couple of variations, and it's.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly flick to this other game that's still going. And this is Edison Zhu against Kevin Vendkassen. Rook and pawn ending. That H pawn's looking dangerous.
It's a biggie. It's a biggie. I mean, C4. I think you're going to take on D3, I guess, and then you should just move your G pawn up, really.
Yeah.
And just to support that H pawn, and then that should really, you know, that should just be enough, really. It's oh no, Julia didn't play the best way there.
Okay, let's see.
But she's still going to win. I mean, King H4 now, and then Bishop E3. Actually, I'm being nitpicky here because what Julia did was perfectly good. So no.
It does look quite convincing, doesn't it?
No criticism there. No, it wasn't the win that I thought, but this is very convincing. So yeah, absolutely well played. A very well played ending from Julia.
Yeah, and Black resigns. So well done, Julia. There. Okay, so we'll just see this the end of this game, and I think this is the only game.
Yeah, there's still one game still going, indeed.
Yeah. So I'm going to just check the results. Does it have them? Yeah. Okay. So under 18, then we basically saw it all. It's a 4-1 win to England with Sasha, Aravamudam, Jacob, and Nishal all winning their games, and Max Turner losing in that king and pawn ending at the end just there. In the under 18 girls, we have we just saw Julia win there, so it's a 2.5 win to England, which will win them. Do they call it's called Glorney Cup girls nowadays? It used to be called the Faber Cup in my time way back. Okay, and the under 14s. Oh, I think we still have 2 games going on.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, and actually it's 2-2 England and Ireland. Okay, actually, so this could still be, if Ireland win this, I think England would still win on board points, but I'm not 100% sure. So
Ireland is definitely winning. It's definitely winning this game. That's absolutely true.
Ireland is. Oh gosh. So actually, okay. And the other game. Let me see if I can find the other game for us. So the other game is board 4, Ghost the Casper.
But Ghost the Casper 1. Ghost
the Casper 1. Okay, so that's just yes, there we go. This is Ghost the Casper, and so that's an England win. So actually, this one is to draw the match. So England should still win overall.
Okay. It's been close, hasn't it? My goodness! Wow.
Yeah, and under 12s, England won 4-2. So Jude lost that one, which was looking tricky. Harry Zheng won. Theo lost the one, and that was looking tricky as well, wasn't it? And Kenneth Hobson, we saw, won. Soham Kumar and Elise Dyson all won their games. Okay, so just this last game going on, and it's looking like this will be
a check, Queen C5, and then Queen B5. Whatever you do, Queen B5. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, and that's going to be enough.
There's one thing you can guarantee, it's that there's a technique nowadays to on online games to win king and queen versus king with about 1 second on the clock.
It's true. All right. So a big congratulations to England actually for these this last round. They've won in all the sections except for the so they've won the trophy, I think, in all sections, and the last round match was a draw in the under 14s and a win everywhere else. Well, the Irish players as well, and
yeah, they were great fights. Those one very close, and some of the matches they looked destined for a completely different result until just the end, really. So they turned around.
It's true. It was the under 18s was looking extremely close. Oh, sorry, Alex. Ireland's won the girls. I've got that completely wrong. How did I get that wrong? Let's look at the girls. So under 18 girls. Oh my goodness. It's really, really close, it looks like.
Maybe share your screen. Maybe share that screen, Natasha.
Let me see. Yes, okay. I'm gonna just do that. So if I take that one off and share the chess results, can you see that one? Okay. Oh my goodness, it's equal in match points, but in terms of tiebreak, the Irish team had 14 game points and the English team 13.5 game points.
Ah.
Yeah, so a 2.5 half win wasn't good enough. It needed to be 3-0 in that last round. But I think well played to both teams.
Indeed.
Anyway, and thanks for pointing that out, Alex. Sorry, I hadn't realised it was a 3-0 win that was needed. I knew England needed to win. I hadn't quite realised the goal difference that was needed there. All right, thanks to well played all teams. Thanks everyone who played. Thanks to everyone who watched, and thank you to the organisers, including Alex there, who's on the chat. And it's been a lovely event. And thank you all for watching. Shall we try a raid? Let's raid Julio because he was in the chat a little bit earlier. Good. So I'm going to do /raid Julio Calcina, and let's do it. Okay, it's going to raid in 8 seconds. So Julio is the guy that managed to stream all 24 hours of the Checkmate COVID event earlier in the year. And okay, there we go, raid. All right, and I'll finish this stream. Thank you all for watching.